Welcome, dear students. Welcome to chapter 6 of your book. The title of the chapter is Tissues. Now, today here we will learn about tissues. That what are tissues? Now, if you remember that in our class we have learned about cell. Now, there during that time I have told you about the concept of your tissue. That what is tissue, how they are formed, about them. Now, we are going to start today the chapter tissue, which is your chapter number 6 in the book. Now, while learning about this, we will be looking at different pictures from this chapter, because biology, it is pictorial representation mainly. This is your biology part. So let us start chapter number 6, which is tissues. Which is your tissues. Now let's start. First thing is that what is tissue? Now tissues are a group of cells, or a group of cells which have similar structure, and they are assigned for a particular work to do. Here, see, in plants and animals, a group of cells called tissues, they carried out certain specific functions. Now, here the plant tissues and the animal tissues come into picture. Now, what are plant tissues and animal tissues? If they are same or not, we will be knowing it. See, in human beings, the cells of the muscular tissues contract and relax and help in movements. In case of animals, this is the thing, because human beings, they come under animal. In plant, the cells of the vascular tissues, they conduct water and food from one part of the plant to the other part. See, these are the some types of muscle tissues, and this is some types of your plant tissue, where xylem and phloem has been shown. This is xylem, this is phloem. Xylem helps in the transfer of water, and phloem helps in the transfer of food. Similarly, these are the muscles which just relax and contract, and they help in the movement. Now, the difference between the plant tissues and the animal tissues. See, plant tissues, they do not move from place to place. So, most of the cells and tissues in plant, they provide mechanical support and strength. Means they are providing your strength to the plant, and how they give support. So, most of the tissues, they consist of dead cells. In case of your plant cells, the most of the tissues, they are consisting of dead cells, because they provide mechanical support and strength to the plant. The growth of plants takes place only in some region. Like plants, they do not grow in every region, they will grow in some region. So plant have tissues which are called meristematic tissues, which divide and help in growth, and permanent tissues which do not divide. Means they have two types of tissues, one is permanent, another one is meristematic. Meristematic helps in the division, whereas permanent helps divide and growth, and permanent tissue, they do not divide at all. Next one is your animal tissue. Now, animal tissues, they move from place to place, and therefore they need more energy than plants. So, most cells and tissues in animals are living cells. The growth of animals is more uniform, so means because they grow from every side. So, animals do not have separate dividing and non-dividing cells. Animals have organs which have some specialized functions. So, the organs have specialized tissues. So, this is the basic difference between plant tissues and animal tissues. Now, plant tissues. The plant tissues, they are mainly of two types. These plant tissues, they are mainly of two types. They are meristematic tissues and permanent tissues, as I said in the previous slide. Now you see meristematic tissues. Now further, these meristematic tissues, they are of three types. Now they are known as apical meristematic tissues, intercalary meristematic tissues, and lateral meristematic tissues. Now what are they? Permanent tissues, they are again of two types. They are simple permanent and complex permanent. Simplex permanent tissues are again three types. They are parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, and complex tissues are of two types. They are xylem and phloem. This comes in case of plants only. Now, plant tissues, this is a basic pictorial representation. You see, that will be more clear. So, this is the basic classification for them. Plant tissues, they are first classified as meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Permanent tissues are classified as simple permanent and complex permanent. Simplex permanent is again divided into parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, and complex is your xylem and phloem. And meristematic are apical, intercalary, and lateral meristematic tissues. What are they? We will be knowing them one by one. Let us see. Meristematic tissues. These tissues, they are found in the growing region of plant, like tips of root, stem, and branches. मतलब अगर एक पेड़ है, suppose if you have a plant, so these meristematic tissues, they are only found in those regions where growing occurs, like जड़ों में, roots, stem, this is stem, and branches, जो डाल पत्ती निकल कर कहते हैं. They divide continuously and help in the growth of a plant. They are again of three types. They are apical meristematic tissues. They are present in the tips of stems and roots. मतलब एकदम tip पर present रहेंगे. Like tip of the stem, टिप ऑफ द स्टेम एंड टिप ऑफ द रूट, एकदम मुंह पर जो रहते हैं, दे हेल्प इन ग्रोथ ऑफ स्टेम्स एंड रूट्स. नेक्स्ट इज योर लेटरल मेरिस्टेमेटिक टिश्यूज. दे आर प्रेजेंट इन द साइड्स ऑफ स्टेम्स एंड रूट्स. साइड में मौजूद रहते हैं ये. दे आर प्रेजेंट इन द sides. They help to increase the girth of the stems of the roots. Girth means उनकी चौड़ाई, the thickness. Next is your intercalary meristematic tissues. Now, what is intercalary meristematic tissues? This intercalary meristematic tissues, they are present at the base of leaves and internodes, and they help in growth of those parts. ये पत्तों में पाए जाते हैं intercalary meristematic tissues. See, this is an example. ये तुम्हारे stem apex है और ये तुम्हारे root tip है. मतलब ये tissues कुछ इस तरह के दिखते हैं. The tissues are of this type. They are stem apex meristematic tissues and they are root tip showing the meristematic tissues. Next is the permanent tissues. अब permanent tissues जो हैं, they are formed from meristematic tissues. Means permanent tissues ये meristematic tissue से बनते हैं, लेकिन ये divide नहीं होते और इनका shape permanent होता है and size भी इनका permanent होता है. They differentiate into different types of permanent tissues are of two types main. They are simple and complex. अब simple वाले में देखो क्या क्या आता है. They are parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. And for your parenchyma, you see, parenchyma consists of loosely packed thin walls having more intercellular spaces. Having more intercellular spaces, they are loosely arranged. Thus, there are large spaces between the cells, and they are large spaces found between cells, and they are found in the tissue. The tissue generally stores food. In some situation, it can contain chlorophyll and it performs photosynthesis, and so it is also called your collenchyma. This parenchyma is also called your collenchyma. Next is your collenchyma. Collenchyma is consisting of elongated cells which have less intercellular spaces and thicker at the corner. They give flexibility and allows easy bending of different parts like stems and leaf, etc. So that is why you see there's leaf and stem, they are flexible, but other part they are stiff, they do not bend. Due to the presence of collenchyma, these parts are flexible. Last one is the sclerenchyma. They consist of long, narrow, dead thick wall. The cell wall contains lignin, a chemical substance which act like cement and hardness them. It gives strength and hardness to your plant. Here you see the presence of this collenchyma, it gives tendrils and stems of climbers. This sclerenchyma, sorry, not sclerenchyma, this collenchyma, they used to give tendrils. Due to the presence of this collenchyma, you have seen those climbers, those climber plants are there. This collenchyma, like climbers, they have their tendrils. You have seen this wavy like this from pumpkin and all. This is due to the presence of this collenchyma, which they can climb on. They become climbers. Next is, now you have seen some photos. This is your how your parenchyma looks. This is how your collenchyma looks. This is how sclerenchyma looks. So these are the pictures of them. This is your parenchyma tissue. This is your collenchyma tissue, and this is your sclerenchyma tissue. This is your permanent fundamental tissue. This is parenchyma. Now these are their characteristics. Parenchyma, they have unspecialized cells with thin primary walls. Chlorenchyma, they have elongated cells with uneven primary walls living at maturity, and here you have thick secondary walls dead at maturity. They have photosynthesis, secretion, storage. They support in leaves and stems, and they give support to the plant. Next is your complex permanent tissue. They are made up of only one type of cells. They are only of two types. One is xylem and one is phloem. They are also called vascular or conducting tissues. Now, why vascular or conducting? And this xylem and phloem, they are very simple one. You see, the xylem, it consists of trichates, vessels, xylem and xylem fibers. They help in the transfers. They help in transfer of water and mineral from root to all part of the plant. So these xylem, they help in the transfer of water from roots to different part of a plant. These xylem tissues, they help. Another one is a phloem. These phloem tissues, they help in transfer of food from leaves to all part of the plant. Phloem parenchyma stores the food and fibers, helps in support. This is your xylem tissue. This is your phloem tissue. Means ये है तुम्हारा phloem tissue and this is your xylem tissue. Xylem helps in water and transport, and phloem helps in the food transport. How to remember? WX. So water is by xylem water is by xylem, and another one that is food by phloem. This is the technique how you can by heart this one. Now next is your animal tissues. Now what are animal tissues and how they are classified? You see, animal tissues are of four main types. They are epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective tissue, and nervous tissue. You see, epithelial tissue, they are again of different types. They are squamous, columnar, cuboidal, glandular. Another one is a muscular tissue. They are striated, unstriated, and cardiac. Connective tissue, they are blood, bone, ligament, tendons, cartilage, areolar, adipose, etc. Nervous tissue, they consist of only nerve cells. Now this, whatever it is written in your verbal form, it is just given here. You see, animal tissues, they are these four. Epithelial, they are four. Muscular, they are three. Connective, they are this seven. And nervous tissue, they are only the nervous tissues. Now we'll see them one by one. First one is your epithelial tissue. Your epithelial tissue, it is the covering or the protective tissue in animals. It forms the outer covering like skin, outer covering of organs, inner lining of blood vessels, etc. Means whatever the outer covering, एक तरह से कह लो कि एक कपड़े का परत है for all these things. So they are your epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue, again, they are of four types. They are squamous. Squamous is a layer of thin flat cells which is present in the lining of blood vessels. Next is your columnar. It is consist of tall pillar-like cells. It is present in the walls of intestines. Your cuboidal epithelial tissue, they are of cone shape. It form the lining of kidney. And last one is your glandular. They form multicellular gland which secretes substances inside the body. They are called glandular. So this squamous, they are found in the blood vessels. Columnar, they are found in the intestines. Cuboidal, they are found in the kidney. And glandular, they are found in different parts. So now this is your different types of epithelial tissue. You see, squamous, how they look. This is your squamous. This is your squamous, this is your simple cuboidal, this is your simple columnar, this is transitional, this is pseudo columnar, this is stratified squamous. So these are the different shapes of your tissues. Next one is your muscular tissue. Muscular tissues are those tissues which help in the movement of the body. They consist of elongated cells, muscle fibers, etc. They contain a protein which is called contractile protein. Contractile protein which contracts and relaxes, helps in the movement. Muscles which can move under our will are called voluntary muscles, and muscles which do not move under our will are called involuntary muscles. Striated muscles, they have light and dark striations. The cells are long, cylindrical, and are multinucleated, means many nucleuses are present. Many nuclei are present. They are also called skeletal muscles because they are attached to the bones. So these striated muscles, they are directly attached with the bones. They help in the voluntary movement of the body. Your smooth muscles, they do not have any striations. The cells are long, spindle shaped, and uninucleated. Only one nucleus is present. They are present in your alimentary canal, blood vessels, bronchi of lungs, and iris of the eye. They are involuntary muscles. They help in the involuntary movements. Your last one is your cardiac muscles. They are involuntary again. They have faint striations, means kam hota hai inme. The cells are long, cylindrical, branched, and multinucleated. They are present in the heart, दिल में होता है ये, and they help in the contraction and relaxation of the heart. Means जो the heart that pumps, once it contracts, then again it relaxes. So that is, it is helped by the cardiac muscles. So this is your diagram of them. This is how they look. You see, the first one is your cardiac muscle. Last one is your skeletal, and the last one is your smooth muscle cells. These are the types of muscles: smooth muscle, skeletal muscle, and cardiac muscle. Next is your connective tissue. Connective tissue, it joins different parts of the body together. So connective tissues में हमारे वही सब आते हैं. Blood, it different parts को join करता है. Similarly, your bone, it is also joining different parts. Ligaments, they are flexible tissues. Tendons, they are also tissues. Areolar tissues, they fill the space between skin and muscle. Skin और muscle के बीच का जो gap होता है वो areolar tissues भरता है. And last one is your adipose tissue, which is found just below the skin and between the internal organ. इनमें fats होता है. This is your components of blood. देखो, ये ब्लड वेसल है. दिस इज योर ब्लड वेसल. इसमें से ये देखो, ये वाइट ब्लड सेल्स हैं. दीज आर योर प्लाज्मा. दे जो लिक्विड, थिक लिक्विड जो है येलो, दे आर योर प्लाज्मा. प्लाज्मा में पाए जाते हैं प्लेटलेट्स, एंड दिस आर योर रेड ब्लड सेल्स. दिस आर योर न्यूट्रोफिल्स, इसोनफिल्स, बेसोफिल्स, लिम्फोसाइट्स, मोनोकाइट्स, प्लेटलेट्स, इरिथ्रोसाइट्स. अब लिगामेंट्स और टेंडन्स ये लास्ट हैं. ये देखो, दिस इज योर लिगामेंट्स एंड दिस आर योर टेंडन्स. लिगामेंट्स क्या होते हैं? they bind bone to bone. They are ligaments. ये bone to bone को हड्डियों से जोड़ते हैं. और tendons जो है वो muscle को bone से जोड़ते हैं. So muscles are attached to bones. Muscle to bones by tendons and bone to bone by ligaments. So this was your last topic. So I just thank you for watching the video up to here. Thank you.